Cool. I have never played Opus Magnum before. I don't know anything about it. I don't know what kind of game it is. I have my controller ready, but I don't even know if it's a controller game. This is a subscriber's choice SERP. Whenever subscribers add games, I just try really hard not to read anything about them. So let's check it out. Click to continue, that seems to suggest. Transmutation lab rules. The transmutation engine. Access is restricted to graduate level alchemical engineering students and faculty only. Keep your student alchemist permanent and sigil with you at all times. I might need to see if I can drop the resolution down to 720p so y'all can see it a little bit. I'm sure the text is tiny. Please keep the area clean for everyone else. That means you, Anastasis. Introduction. Maybe you put off learning how to use a transmutation engine for this long. Concentrating on working by hand, you know that. About to graduate. Solve this puzzle to continue. Oh, it's a puzzle game? One sec, I'm going to see if I can get to an options menu real quick. Drop it to 720 or 768. That's much better. Y'all should have an easier time seeing now. That's fine. New solution 1, not yet solved. 8 parts. These are reagents. They're input materials for doing alchemy. This is a product. Reagent is a word that I saw in video games way before I actually heard anyone say it out loud. I used to think it was pronounced regents. This is a product. Your job as an alchemist is to build machines that combine reagents into useful products. To complete a puzzle, build all products. Press the play button below to start the transmutation engine. This is the instruction tray. Instructions tell the machine's parts what to do. Oh, it's like a programming game? Oh, that's cool. Neat. It speeds up over time, it looks like. Machine has successfully created the desired product. Histograms and leaderboard are not available for tutorial puzzles. Yeah, that makes sense. Understand so far? Count you as a friend, Anastasis, but sometimes you carry your genius alchemist act a little too far. I'm not going to be a genius alchemist. Arms. The arm. You go through the material. You need to see this. Place an arm below, setting the rotation and length so the gripper is over the reagent, and then add instructions to the instruction tray below to make it pick up the reagent and move it to the product output. So I start with an arm in the corner. Okay, so if I do like rotate this way, while I'm dragging them here, I see it. Number 3, sure. 1/6 of a complete rotation, so 1 hex, so that's helpful. A 1, 2, 3. So I can use hotkeys, which is nice. Close all grippers. I see. Okay, that makes more sense. So I can pick it up from here. Where am I sending it to again? Yeah, where's the product output for this? Change the length of an arm by... Oh, thank you. That's helpful. So I'm trying to get it into here. And I can set the default location so I can tell it, gotcha. Thank you. So I can tell it grab, right. The thing that says 0 out of 6. Actually, let's do left so it's not being obscured by the thing there. 2, 3, 1, 2. Oh, but I don't have enough room to do it that many times. So I should see what the actual turn looks like. Maybe it's not one hex. Let's hit play and see. And I need to tell it to drop it, right? Atoms may not collide. Oh, because I didn't drop it. Okay. So this time let's add a drop instruction and then see what happens. I see setting the rotation and length. That's cool. Cool. Arms pick up and move elemental proxies to the surface of the transmutation engine. Pivots. So I should learn when it says that it moves 1/6 of a rotation. I think I need to be tracking that towards the center of the arm. In this case, you use pivot instructions. Want an arm to rotate what it's gripping. Place an arm below, then add instructions to make it pick up the reagent and move it to the product output. Change its initial rotation and length. I see. That's convenient. Pivot instruction. Rotates the atoms held by an arm clockwise by 60 degrees or 1/6 of a complete rotation. But I can't actually, it's impossible for me to start here and reach the atom there, right? Oh, it's blocked. There's another part here. Okay, so they're taking up the same physical space, I guess? I guess this is an atom, and this is an atom, and this is a thing to turn in the atom. Okay, I think I understand. So if I did grab, left, left, drop, it's not going to get the other one for me, though. Oh, they're connected. Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay. Let me watch this again. So I need to, like, pivot the whole thing. This reminds me of, like, Human Resource Machine. That doesn't do it either. So it has to start on this one. If I rotate it without the pivoting, it needs to pivot at least once. And it probably doesn't need multiple rotation instructions. Okay. And it just keeps repeating the instructions. So you can make a more efficient machine that does the same thing in fewer steps in the loop, I assume. This is a cool game. It'll take me a while to get my sea legs in it, but there it is. I imagine you get vision in this game eventually. Oh, but I'm only telling it to rotate one at a time, so while it will eventually succeed, it'll be extremely inefficient in the process, because I'm not adding steps onto the end of the loop to finish it rotating. So I wonder if I can just rotate it back to where it was. There we go. Cool. You successfully created the desired products. All very straightforward and simple. How nice that this is so easy for you. Pistons. Piston arm is a special kind of arm that can extend and retract. Instructions control the piston. Let's try to demonstrate. Place a piston arm below. Add instructions to make it pick up the reagent and move the product output. So we can use the piston to increase. Okay, so we're looking at the design space here. We can rotate, we can grab, we can let go, we can pivot, and we can extend and retract, I guess is what you'd use a piston for. Extend, retract, very good. So let's, I guess this is showing us what they're already doing, right? Presumably they're taking this one here, this one here. So they're trying to use the two existing tracks as a clue for what you should be doing. Okay. Now, what I don't have an intuition for is how far, like, when it's turning 1/6 of the unit, if I look at where the arm just begins to extend, if I look at the hex directly adjacent to my center hex, it's going to go here, 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 and here, right? And the arm might end up going somewhere crazy. Like if it's here, the arm's probably going to end up like down here. Okay, that's something I had to get a bit of a handle on. So I think we retract one step, then we go 1, 2. It is one step, right? Yeah. Oh, and when you're retracting it, you can see the steps around it. You can project where it's going to end up. I see. That's cool. Then we drop it. I guess I don't have a drop option, do I? Huh. Oh, reset just lets me skip having to do all of that? I see. Whoa, why is it dropping it now? I want it to grab the thing it has, I want it to retract, and then I want it to rotate. Does retract also drop the object at the end of the retraction? Reset says it drops. Oh, I'm telling it to pivot, that's my mistake. Dummy. There we go. My bad. I was super confused. Like, why does it keep like pushing it back into itself? I picked pivot instead of rotate. I just gotta remember that those are different. Imagine you can get pretty quick with this with the keyboard shortcuts. Piston arms can reach areas you can't with a normal arm. That's what makes them so useful. They cost a little more than regular arms. Use the reset instruction to make an arm return to its initial state from wherever it is. Reset instruction takes the same amount of time it would take to issue the individual instructions. Ah, okay. Cool. Yeah, thinking about stuff in time steps is kind of neat. Next we have tracks, which are paths you can place on the board. It's easier to show you. Huh, that's cool. Create a track between the reagent and the product. Place an arm on the track and add instructions to make it pick up the reagent and move it to the product output. Oh, cool. You can draw it along any number of hexes. Now it's letting me put this basically anywhere to solve it, right? So if we did grab, but now I don't have retract anymore. Wait, so let me understand. Arms can be placed on tracks and instructed. Oh, put the arm on the track. Okay. Yeah, I got it now. Okay, so we grab, and I have a thing that says move along track in the negative direction of the track. And how, when you tell it to move, does it move to the next node, or does it move one hex? Does it need 2 move instructions? I guess I could just hit play and see. It needs 2. Okay. Oh, it needs 2. That's right. Cool. This is a cool game. I like the puzzle design. Place an arm on a track. The arm can move forward or backward along the path. Tracks can be powerful, but I'm still learning how to use them effectively. Put multiple arms on a single track? I think so. I never thought to try that. Oh god. Okay. Perform transmutations, we use glyphs. Say I want to calcify an element. Use a glyph of calcification on the board to move the element you want to calcify over it. Kind of like the lore of this setting too, of like these alchemists. Yeah, I imagine so. You basically programmed it all perfectly. Glyph of calcification to turn the reagent of fire atom into the product of salt atom. Oh no, this is why it's this is why it's alchemy. It's any of the 4 cardinal elements. Oh, I can make my own glyph. Okay, that makes more sense. And I can retract again. So I do grab. I'm going to need to use this. This is going to be the key to me being able to enjoy this game. For some reason, my brain doesn't think in extended hexes like that, so if I can have a ghost projection of where it's going to go, that's extremely helpful to me. So grab, rotate, not pivot, drop, I assume, grab, retract, and then reset drops it, right? Cool. So the delta symbol, theta is salt, delta is fire. Tab progresses the machines by 1 step. Oh, okay. Instead of just hitting play every time. Welcome to modern alchemical engineering. Sample arm wasn't doing it? Bonding. I kind of like, so at first when they show you the first puzzle that just solves itself, you're like, oh my god. But then they break it down. It's like, okay, I can do this. This must be the glyph of bonding. To use it, why don't you just show me how it works? Very well. Oh, it just needs to hover over top of it? Okay. 2 arms and the glyph of bonding to bond the 2 salt atoms together and move them to the product output. Interesting. Okay, so if they, now we've got multiple tracks running at the same time. I see. If it passes over it, it transmutes. Okay, that's helpful. Thank you. Left 2. Right and extend. Oh, they bond here and then they turn in here? This is the product. This is the bonding location. Okay. Far right button, this one up here. Do diagram. Oh, here we go. Mors vitae. Death, life, air, fire, water, salt. Gold, silver, copper, iron, tin, lead, quicksilver. That's cool. This one goes right. We play through it. And then by being over it, they are bonded. And I move in two different directions at once. I guess I can let go with one of them and let the other one continue transferring, right? In the same time step, presumably? Is there a wait step that I can input? No. Okay. Leave the space blank to wait. Okay. Gotcha. That's cool. Your machine has successfully created the desired products. It's like, we're not really going to congratulate you. You did the bare minimum. Could have been using it the whole time. Glad I did the hard things the hard way for so long. This is real life. Is everything you need to know to use the transportation engine effectively? I'm gonna mute real quick. Andrew is home.
What do you play?
Opus Magnum. There's a puzzle game about alchemy.
Hey everybody! Jahan, thank you to you and your family for the letter and the picture. It was awesome. I like to go around. But Laura was like, what does Dylan do? And I was like, dude, he's friends with like people all over the world who are really cool.
I feel like they're throwing me in.
And they all just come together and watch and play video games and have a good time. It's a beautiful thing. I think it's beautiful. Today was a good day.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, so Anne-Marie, I've started this new project analyzing some old data from like the 1970s. And she showed me how to do like the first steps. And then she gave me 15 files and asked me to, analyze them. And I did in about an hour and a half. she showed me how to do it. It's like, okay, you open up this program, you do this, you do this, you do this, you save it, great. And then you open up this program, you do this, you do this, you do this, you save it, okay, you're done. Right? It really is not that complicated. But I go in her office this morning, I'm like, hey, I'm done. And she's like, already? Wow.
Nice.
It's like,
Hold on.
nailed it. Next step, I have to write a little program in IDL, so it'll be a bit more of a learning curve because I have to relearn.
What is IDL?
IDL is a programming language. It's kind of like MATLAB, but for old people.
Left, forward, reset. And it's okay if one of the products finishes early, question mark? Oh no, the product is... It needs to be combined first.
Yeah, see, Leanne knows IDL.
I think I understand.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I like IDL. It's a lot like Fortran. I'm like, oh my god. Right, old people, that's true. Astrophysicists do also use
bonding
IDL.
and unbonding, okay.
Yeah. It's like, oh god, Fortran.
So we do...
Because I was like, oh, I just want to write this in
extend.
Python, but I should probably... Because all of the scripts that she uses are in IDL, so I was like... I should really just take the time to relearn IDL. Actually, I was trying to find a book, like an IDL handbook, on Amazon, and it doesn't exist. And I put it in Google, and all it does is give me a PDF of like 2,000 pages. And I'm like, no, I literally need the book because I cannot just take that file and put it on the classified computer. Anyway, cue clearance problems.
Okay.
Maybe I'll just email the help desk and be like, yo, can you put this file on my account?
I need to run this and see what it... Because I need to visualize it, and I can't do it completely in my head, so give me 1 sec to test it here. Sorry,
I know I'm talking a lot.
Okay, so I need to be able to pick it up. You're good, no worries. This is a high concentration game. So I let go with this one, and then I rotate it one more step, but this isn't all the way right. There's still another thing I have to do. I just need to see what happens. You're saying I can press tab to watch the whole thing play out? Okay, so that's bad. Because there's basically no way for me to reach the goal if I put the goal there. But I could move the whole machine around. Barely do anything slowly in your head. Okay. Yeah, I feel like they throw you right in that deep end, huh? Which is cool, I kind of dig that. Okay, so part of the way you think about this game is you need to be able to reach all the nodes that you need to reach. This guy can reach, right? Okay. So number 2 grabs the element, rotates 1 step, transmutes the element, extends, drops the element, and then starts over. But I probably need to get it in sync with the other one, so it probably needs a wait step.
What's a Turbo Pascal? Is that another language, coding language?
And then this one grabs, rotates left 2 times.
Or is it like
extends.
TurboTax? Oh, it's okay. So it's
The other one is already dropped.
I've never heard of Turbo Pascal. Is it easy?
So this one's already wrong for reasons. I might have to do some pivoting, but I think I'll solve this one, but it'll be a very inefficient solution.
Oh, can you put the link, Leon? Because then I just kind of want a book, and I was like, well, I guess I could download the 2,000 page one and go print it at Kinko's or something, but...
So if I...
It probably hasn't changed much since 2001.
Pivot, retract.
Awesome.
Let's watch. You can rotate the product slot. Oh, really? Oh, okay. That's helpful to know. What's up?
Can you really quick click on that link before it gets buried?
I'll pull it up in a sec. That's how I could make the solution fewer cycles, more efficient if I rotated the product. I didn't realize. So I can rotate all of these, the starting position.
Oh, cool. Thanks, Leah. Good call.
Machine has successfully created the desired product. Record GIF. Okay. I see. And it's comparing me to my friends and saying I'm worse than everyone because I used way more cycles than everybody else did.
But did you get the job done?
I got the job done, but it wasn't a very efficient code. This is like, what is it? Factorio. It's like Factorio human resource machine. So where do I get it to once I have them together? There. So if I move the whole machine, is there a way I can move the whole machine if I like click and drag? The answer to that is yes. Okay. So you're saying if I had the product already rotated down there, like you're saying, like here, is that where it was? I see. That's a much cleaner solution. So there, the rest of these can simply die.
Marty, are you hungry? He's so hungry.
Where does that map? Is that before the pivot instruction? It's showing me this is what we're about to do, and then it pivots. Okay. So the thing it's highlighting over is this is the next step if you press tab one more time. So we get rid of this, we get rid of this. Loop here, loop here. You can also click and drag the background to move. Can I zoom out of the background at all? Huh. Interesting. So that used exactly the same energy even though I did it in fewer instructions. Any reason why? Oh, maybe now I should increase the resolution back. I was doing it the way I was doing before because it was kind of hard to see the text. Cost and area were the same. Oh, you want to try to make it as compact as possible. That makes sense. Here, I'll keep... I think it might be interesting to see me try to make this more efficient. This is a fun project for me, at least. So, like, if I did it like that, so there's no retract step. Optimization challenges. Okay, but now the time steps aren't right on the bottom, right? Oh, I gave it the wrong command, didn't I? Shoot, I edited the wrong one. Okay, well, number 2 should grab, rotate, get rid of the extend. Rotate. Oh no, it should still extend. Never mind. Drop, wait. This one should grab it. I don't want to have it here. I want to have it somewhere that's less stupid. Optimizing all 3 is not possible. That's cool. So here, number 1 is going to go left. I don't need it to go left twice anymore because I'm placing it in a less stupid way.
Is the thing on the right gonna have to extend?
Yeah,
Can't you just move it over to the left one more and have it not extend? You know what I mean? I don't really understand how this works. Can't you just move that all to the left? And then just have it rotate into the thing?
That might work, yeah. I think you're right. And then this doesn't need to be extended either. Okay. So now number 1 is gonna rotate. These are gonna bond, but they need to get in sync somehow. So I need to have a wait command here. And then it'll rotate, and then it resets. Is that it? That's much better.
Andrea's a genius.
It's also better because it uses up less space. Okay. That's better.
Hey, beat Propagable.
So what's cost though?
Take that, Propagable.
I get cycles, I get reducing the area. That's about the best area I can get of the people that I know. Each piece of equipment has a cost. So I can do this with fewer pieces.
Oh, just do a fixed arm. You don't
Oh,
need
wait.
a fixed arm. What are you doing?
realize there was a... I didn't realize there was a difference between extendo arms and fixed arms.
I'm just giving you shit because that's a cornerstone of our marriage.
When they introduced the extendo arms, I was like, oh, that must have been something that the arms always been able to do.
Oh, fun story. You'll find this interesting. Are you listening?
Yeah, I'm listening. What's
okay, so we use these things called oscilloscopes at work a lot to record our data. You don't need to know what they do. But anyway, they can get really, really fancy. Like really fancy. Like $500,000 a scope fancy.
Oh,
and
shit.
Apparently there's this like super fancy mode that they program into every single oscilloscope because that way they get to mass produce it. But it's locked on the average oscilloscope. You have to buy like a program that unlocks it for you, if that makes any sense. So technically your cheap oscilloscope has the capability to do fancy shit, but you don't have the key to unlock that software. I thought that was funny. Anyway, maybe it's really not that funny.
It's really annoying. You have to do it that way.
Well, but like that's how they mass produce. They're like, well, we're just gonna have to make them all be awesome, but make people pay more to unlock the awesome.
Drag the new arm over the old one to keep the commands. Okay. Is there a copy paste option, or that is copy paste, like doing it visually? It doesn't seem to work. I have to take it from the bank, basically? Okay. This one needs to extend. This one doesn't, but... So I can still get it down one more step.
Oh, I didn't know they did that for CPUs as well.
Okay, let me see if I can get it to one more step here.
Interesting. I wonder if anyone knows how to, like, hack it to get a cheaper CPU. It's probably, like, proprietary software or something. But I don't know, man. There's some smart people out there with lots of time.
The area is as good as I'm gonna get it. Okay. So now I can just do this instead of having an extendo section. Okay. This is fun. I'm enjoying this. I like that it rates you not just on solving it, but how efficient you were.
Ooh, that's sexy.
So why am I still at 80 when oh, is it still an extendo arm that I failed to... I didn't actually replace it with a cheapo one. Okay, hold on. That's why. Okay, I'm less intimidated now. When it first popped up and said, you can do all this. It's 60 cycles. I could get down to 36 somehow. And you want a low area, right? I assume you want all these values to be as low as possible. Okay, cool. What are your plans after you graduate? Histograms are global measurements. Oh, okay. Not just your friends.
Is this like Hogwarts?
It's like a alchemy school.
Yeah, Hogwarts. They have alchemy in Hogwarts.
They're not wizards, though.
Oh, okay. So, is it more like,
They said the thing?
Name of the Wind?
Okay.
That's also wizards.
If you get the peak, you solved it on par, I see. But if you're left of the peak, then you did really well. That's cool. I like that they include that. Especially in comparing it to your friends, and you can just... They could just tell you you won and not tell you how well you won, you know? Dear Anateus, congratulations on your appointment at the position of head alchemist to the House of Antassin. Very pleased to see you find a position in line with your talent and abilities. Very, like, Dune-like setting. Prepare to leave the academic life. I want to give a word of advice. The politics of the city are much harsher and more dangerous than those of the academy. You are a singularly gifted talent, and I would hate to see you get caught up in these conflicts. The alchemist plays us not to sink to the level of those around us, but rise above them in the service of our art. What are some other Zachtronics games? I don't know if I've played one. Cordialem. A Nightmare. Lady Fantastic looks like she's embalmed. What a brave man you are, surviving a formal dinner. Imagine that this game takes place on the planet Vinci in Futurama.
Oh!
Is that helpful?
Yeah.
On my planet, I am the stupidest person. Duh, I'm Leonardo. I don't know the mass of the Higgs boson. I have to write in pencil because I don't know how to use rendering software. You remember my name just fine. Only the shame in knowing you're suboptimal. Yeah. No, I like that. Winning is pretty simple if you aren't going for efficiency, but I think it's fun to like figure out what's your intuition for solving it, and then why are you wrong? Right? It's the same with optimizing code. Like you'll solve it one way intuitively, and you'll think about it and go like, "Wait, that's dumb." I used to do that with the code for the voting system, where I had it set up. I mean, granted, I didn't have access to variables, so I had to hard code everything. But anytime someone would like change the cost of a game, I'd have to go into that command and change all of the text in the command, risking fucking up the code.
Right. Yeah.
But then I got it set so it pulls from a text file, and I would just update the text file, and I never touch the code ever.
Nice.
Which is a dream.
Yeah, that's the dream.
It worked before, it was just janky and kludgy as shit. Were you asked to create the Philosopher's Stone? One more guess. Transform lead into gold? Yes, apparently there's an old Fantastin lead mine, and wouldn't it be better if it produced gold instead? Okay. Cool. Glyph of Projection. The glyph of projection consumes an atom of quicksilver and promotes an atom of metal to its next higher form. By doing this repeatedly, even lead, the basest metal, can be transmuted into the finest gold. I like the lore in this. Lead, tin, iron, copper, silver, gold. And then quicksilver is what's allowing me to upgrade it. Okay. So product, they always let me put it wherever I want. That's the symbol for gold. Okay. And then our reagents are lead, which is trash, and quicksilver. And then we have a glyph of projection. Plus us turn stuff. So like the quicksilver, the mercury has to land here, and the thing I'm transmuting has to land here. Do they have to be bonded, or do they need to be bonded in order for them to transmute properly when they land on it? No
You're
bonds
gonna
are
want to
necessary.
transmute it multiple times, right?
I do, yeah. It just has to hover over it. So, does the quicksilver get consumed once it's dropped? Consumes an atom of quicksilver, promotes an atom of metal. Okay. How do I generate additional quicksilver then? Or is this just a node that can be gathered from by an arm when it selects grab? Alright, so if I do grab returning to the node, and then that's left one, right? And then I'd have to drop it. Okay. Or I could just reset from there. But in order for it to be consumed, there must be another element hovering over it on the same time step, right? Otherwise it'll get blocked. Oh, I confused them. I thought the quicksilver was lead. My bad. Okay, so just... Whoops, that's not what we want. I'm gonna go here. So it won't get consumed until it has something to bond with, right? Okay. Yes, this game is up my alley. It's very cool.
Repeat.
Nice.
Repeat. You have to repeat number 2. Number 2 has to repeat.
No, I won't win. There's other issues. Because I need to once it's been, I need to do it multiple times. Can it rest? Can my my lead rest in this square while it keeps adding more and more mercury to it? It can rest? Okay. It doesn't have to keep moving in and out of it, is what I'm asking. So if I drop it and then I wait a certain number of time steps here, let me watch here. Oh, but no, we want explicitly to wait. So this has to be set further along. Once you hit repeat, that you're done entering commands, right? So let me watch here. This is going to be inefficient, but I need to understand the mechanic. V1. Create a sequence of instructions that will repeat the preceding set of instructions. Okay. I think I understand. Thank you. I think we need this then.
So, like, recursion?
It'll do it for exactly the last 3. Now, repeat doesn't include a reset, though, right? I would have to put a reset in there. So I wouldn't use reset in this case. I'd have to drop, move it back, and then repeat, right? And that lets me control the number of time steps, whereas the difference between C and V is C says drop it and then just do the whole thing indefinitely. We don't care about syncing up time steps. This one lets me set up a specific set of time steps. Okay, I think I get it. So let me just see if it successfully transmutes it. It would if I hadn't have moved it there, if I had more wait steps here. Do the actions necessary to put this back. So we made it up to copper, so we have to do at least one more repeat. 2 more repeats. Now, I'm guessing that it seems like that's a lot of time steps to create one product. Because I'm having to wait for this arm to reset. So I guess you could set it up in such a way that it keeps moving between multiple glyphs of projection. So like it moves here, this one upgrades it to, I don't know, what is it, 10? And then it moves down here and there's another one that upgrades it to iron and so on. I guess I just don't know if any which is faster, if any are faster. Alright, well, that's fine. Here. Let me tab it through. Oh, because I changed the starting point. I'm like, what the hell is happening? Silver, gold, and then if I press it again, that's when it's going to rotate. Okay. Extend here, I think, if I was understanding it right. Oh, right, it's not an extendo arm. But it doesn't need to be. It could be... Let's see, hold on. It could be like here. Then screw extendo, just left turn one more time. But I have to have a grab, yeah. But when does it actually... What's the step when it becomes gold? Because I have to grab it on that step. I can do a reset here. Let's try this. Good, spaces play. Super janky, but it looks like it's getting the job done. Yeah, I see what you mean by it being like really cathartic when you solve it, even if it's way too many cycles.
I don't know, you're pretty average there.
Average! I guess most people solve it that way.
Ah, Cirque got it down to 62.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Man.
Factor 2, more than a factor of 2.
Yeah.
More efficient than my shit.
Yeah.
Probably involves other parts. I'm gonna let the game teach me about the other parts
You're not the
before
worst.
I get too excited. Can you make lead into gold? D's get degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Scarcely believe it.
Or the, like, what do you call guy who finished last in medical school?
Doctor?
Doctor. Yep.
I haven't heard that one before.
I thought I told you this before on stream.
Oh, maybe.
You're just not paying attention to me. You don't
Try.
love me.
That's what it is, yeah. It's definitely it. I love it. If I look flustered when Andrea sits down and she's like, so, let me tell you about my day. I'm like, I need to talk about the game. I love you. You should keep doing it. It's very charming.
This is a Friday.
Extra difficulty.
Near the the last half of stream tradition.
Yeah.
It's for you to just come in and hijack the entire stream.
Make the last subblock game very difficult. Notice how pale her face is. Ben, do not turn off the monitor. He did that yesterday when I was signing off.
Did he really?
Reached up and bumped his head into the power button.
Aw, he's so clever.
She's well known for her power. Someone asked you to do something about it? Missing about her health. So I have to make face powder? Okay, that's cool.
But like magic face powder?
So it's salt. Salt and what? Salt and earth. Okay. Yeah, sure, sir. They had a pretty reasonable tutorial, and then they were like, oh, now you can just use it. Like, oh, the tutorial just had fixed pieces.
Right, can you click on the link?
The tutorial had fixed pieces, and then after doing that for a little bit, it just pops out, and it's like, all right, now you have access to all the pieces, put them wherever you want.
Nice. You know, that's
cool that
actually
it lets
not
you
as
make a
bad
GIF.
as I thought. Oh, wait. That thing.
Oh, wait, that's not actually as
Yeah,
bad. Oh.
no, the thing in the middle left. The thing in the middle left is awesome.
So I have to share the reagent, right? Because I can grab... Basically,
Now the arm could move.
the reagent node
That's
is
cool.
a source of infinite atoms, right? But part of the problem is two arms cannot grab the same atom on the same time step.
Wait, what's that thing in the bottom right that it's beaten on? Oh, it's throwing them away?
I don't think I have access to that one yet. Equilibrium, maybe? Okay, so I need a transmuty thing. Calcification always turns it into salt, hence the name calcification. Makes him a salty boy. Okay. I'm allowed to rotate these things. They can't overlap, which makes perfect sense. Well, if we're going to do it that way, it needs to look more like this.
Oh, guess what, everyone? I get to go to Japan this one last time.
Hey.
As far as I can see. I got invited to a conference to talk about astrophysics stuff, actually, because I'm going to be doing 10% astrophysics after September because the funding runs out.
Mm-hmm.
But my supervisor said that I could do one trip. And I got invited to this trip in Japan, and so I was like, all right, that's my one trip. I'm going to be there the week of November 11th. And I'm going to be just northeast of Tokyo in Kashiwa.
So I know a way I can do this that's inefficient. I'm going to start by doing the inefficient one, and then maybe I can tighten it later. I feel like that's probably a good way to figure these out.
Yeah, I'm super stoked. And it's going to kind of be right when this other project I'm working on in Las Vegas is ramping up, so I'm probably going to go Las Vegas. Oh, is there a flight from Las Vegas to Tokyo? There might be.
Left, right. Hold up. It is, okay. I like how they really let you play with this a lot and like time step through it before you submit the solution. Like the time pressure is not a thing. Hidden information is not a thing. Like you keep messing with it until you get it as clean as you want it to be. This is actually, to me, this reminds me of Factorio, but Factorio stresses me out because there's like some RTS stuff going on where it's like, make non-spaghetti code and do it quick, dummy. But this one is kind of nice to you in that respect. Alright, so if we grab on step 2, and this is going to be inefficient, but hey, it will probably work. Then we rotate, and then we extend. Gives me time here to rotate left one more time. Let's see what this plays like. Most puzzles you will solve.
Eventually. Brute force! I love brute force.
Oh, it's because I'm grabbing it on the same step that this one has been grabbed, so I have to have a time delay. Huh. Well, this is the longer thing, so this should happen first. Let's see if this is the same problem. It is. Okay, so there needs to be a gap. If I'm gathering from the same reagent, there needs to be at least 2 steps from the initial grab.
Alright, looks like there isn't a direct flight from Las Vegas to Narita, which I suppose is not surprising. But I'm sure I can go like to LAX or something and then pop out from there.
Then we have to drop it. Well, both Factorio
Like, are there even flights
and
from
Human
Las
Resource
Vegas to
Machine
LAX?
in
It's
this
like
game
a 4-hour drive.
are all about programming and then making it more efficient. That's why I compare it. Okay. Problem is we need to get them into a syncing schedule here, right? Oh, but I need to bond them. I'm putting them in the goal there, aren't I? Oops. Okay, hold on. They actually need to be bonded in order for the solution to be valid, right?
Yeah, it looks like it's
Send it
about an hour.
again.
Okay. Looks like there's direct flights.
This thing should actually be a bonder.
It's your friend,
Bonder. Name is it Bonder? It's Bender. Alright, let me see how it actually ends, just the way it is right now.
Okay. But yeah, man, I'm probably gonna, maybe I'll add a day on my way there, like a jet lag day, because I can have one of those in my travel reimbursement, which is nice. And spend the day. I don't know what is around in Kashiwa, I think that's its name. But
You really don't think of Factorio as a programming game? What is a programming game then?
Python.
Visualizing spaghetti code. With literal spaghetti.
Oh, you know that coding game? There's this great coding game, the best coding game in the world. Number 1. The Frozen coding game that Obama played.
Yeah.
Where you have to make them skate and draw out different shapes. It's awesome.
Okay. So if I just put that there, I can just drop it and we're done. Sometimes rotating it's not necessary. No, it's not very tight because it could be a little bit smaller, but let's see.
That's what she said.
You're goofy. Alright. I think if I reset there, then it's fine.
Yeah, Brenda says she doesn't really like Japan. And I don't understand, because Japan is awesome. Everyone is very orderly, and in the subway, I love that. Like, everyone just lines up, they stand to the right as people get off. It's perfect. Oh, apparently there's
Slightly
also...
worse than the bell curve.
Still average! Okay,
well,
but anyway, apparently a lot of the trains will have a girls-only car. And I know about this because my friend Luigi didn't know about that, and he accidentally went into the girls-only car. And they just laughed at him, and it was fine. But yeah, man, and there's signs. So for example, we were in Nagoya. Remember Nagoya? And the sign for the flood relief route, the tsunami relief route, had a giant catfish banging on the ground. Yeah, because apparently there's this folklore that earthquakes are created by catfish banging on the ground.
Yeah, it's like the catfish
and
monster that you
make
fight.
Tsunamis.
It's you fight a catfish in Link to the Past to get the earthquake medallion.
There you go. Anyone who played Link to the Past should know this. But yeah, I love that that's just their official sign. Like, if there's a tsunami, go this way. Follow the catfish banging on the earth. It's just great. Japan is great. Also, like Japan Hotel has internet upload speeds that allow for streaming.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. I'm used to having to pay $15 a night to get email only in the United States, and we got free, like, 100 Mbps up. Yeah. It was nuts. It was really high.
Also, Japan's TV shows are varied.
That's true.
Because I was taking a nap, so he watched like an hour of Japanese TV. Do you remember it?
I do remember. It was really crazy. I think I live talked about it in the Discord forever ago. It's still in there. This game is super cool. We're at time. Thank you, sir, very much for sharing it. Don't worry, it's no problem.
I'm gonna go make another drink.
I won't count that minute and a half against your time, I promise. Future Marstead, if you play this game again, just watch the last puzzle. I think it'll come back to you. But yeah, no, this is a really cool game. I get it. I like the whole program and then make it more efficient thing. So you guys know what's coming up next week.